It was a bad idea after 9/11 to give every cop in America the idea that they were part of the Homeland Security Department. It was a bad idea to convince everybody that had any type of job that required security that they were, essential, and that they were, they weren't able to be questioned, and that they were the final say on every matter. Whether it's you walk around Manhattan and there are doormen that have that attitude. I mean, there are, transit cops that have that attitude. Everybody seems to have the attitude that they are the only thing standing between, the George Floyd's fucking $20 bill is the only thing standing between, the collapse of the financial system. They're treating this guy like he's the biggest threat ever, and they wouldn't have done it to a white guy. They just really wouldn't have. That's just the way it is. I'm telling you, they would not have done it to a white guy that way. The white guy would have had to behave in a manner that was so dangerous. School shooters get walked out of schools where they just shot 9 people in the face. White school shooters get walked out of school like they're petting their heads. The cops are petting their heads as they walk out. They're singing to them. Silent night, holy night. They pray with the school shooter. The cops take the school shooter out. They all get on their knees, start praying with him. Now let us pray. Now you're a bad boy. You've been a bad boy, and you might have to do 4 years in prison. I mean, these kids just shot 12 people in the face while they were eating lunch, eating sloppy joes. A kid gets a bullet in the head, and the cops walk the guy out. There's not a scratch on him. Well, Tim, the school shooters always surrender. It's like, well, I bet that's not true. And I also bet that there's a better way to handle somebody who's resisting than to put a boot on their neck for 9 minutes until they die, by the way. But it's just true. It's just, I don't know what to tell you. I've had interactions with cops that have gone the wrong way. Yeah, I think I famously talked about the one where they thought I shit myself. That got me out of it because I had sat in steak sauce. Cops pulled me over. They thought I was smoking pot. I was in the passenger seat of a car. I got out and I just had brown all over my pants because it was Smith & Walensky steak sauce, and all the cops were taking cell phone videos of me because they thought I shit myself. By the way, they thought I shit myself because I was afraid of them. They thought, and they delighted in that, and they wanted to show all their fucking loser cop friends, look, we terrified a guy so much he shit himself. First of all, hey, pigs out there, I shit myself often, and it has nothing to do with you, by the way, okay? Okay, my system just evacuates when need be. Has nothing to do with you. So, and not all cops are pigs, but there's some bad ones out there, some real ruffians. And they were standing there taking cell phone cameras of me because they wanted to show other people, like, this guy shit himself because he was so terrified of us, because he was sitting in the passenger seat of a car and maybe was smoking a joint in the passenger seat of a car, okay? And that's, one of the many interactions that I've had with police. But I was a criminal. Like, all the interactions I've had with cops, and I was rarely arrested, and I would get pulled over. A cop would go, license, registration, and insurance, and I would literally look at him. I'd be smoking a butt. I'd go, I don't have any of that. I don't have any of that, sir. What? They go, Mr. Dillon, your license has been suspended about 20 times. I go, yeah. It's about that, isn't it? They're like, you shouldn't be driving. I'm like, I know. I got to go to work. And that's, and then once or twice they put me in jail, but a lot of cops were like, all right, hey, listen, you got your buddy in the car, let him drive. Or a cop will go, listen, don't be around this area anymore. Just get out of here. I'm not going to bring you in, but hey, don't come back here. How many black people get that chance? How many black people get the chance where they go, hey, buddy, I know you're driving an uninsured vehicle with no license. Your license has actually been suspended 20 times and is suspended currently. But just get out of here, you knucklehead. You silly goose. You're a silly goose. So I get it. You know? I mean, I knew a kid. There's a kid I used to do comedy with in Long Island. Fought 9 cops. Fought like 9 cops. You know what, like, the judge said to him when he was sentencing him? The judge was like, listen, it's clear that you're a good guy. That's what he said to the guy. It's clear you're a good dude. You know, my friend was in a courtroom, like, watching this happen. The judge is like, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has problems, you know? Everybody, you know? And then the guy is like, does 0 jail time. He fought 8 cops. Didn't get shot. Did 0 jail time. I read about a football team in Greenwich, Connecticut. There was like a fight. The football team, this was years ago, but it was maybe in Darien, Connecticut, football team fight, Connecticut, whatever. They break in to the dude's house. It's like a party. They break in, which is a home invasion, or somebody lets them in. And yeah, there you go. Fight between New Canaan and, no, go back. So they like break into the guy's house. One kid holds him down. The other kid like beats the shit out of him. Okay. And then when the judge is sentencing this guy, he's like, hey man, you got a bright future. It's in the fucking, I followed the case a little bit. It's like the judge is sentencing the guy and the judge goes, listen, it pains me to have to give you any time. You got a bright future. All you did was break into this kid's house and beat the shit out of him in his home. You got a bright... Can you imagine a judge would saying that to a black guy who did that? Just broke into a house, started beating the shit out of a white kid in fucking New Canaan, Connecticut. The judge going, hey, everybody. You know? I mean, it's different. It doesn't mean it's all race. It doesn't mean the cops don't abuse white people. But I live in Long Island, the home of dirtbag white people. I mean, did you see the Long Island go and get up the Merrick, Long Island response to a peaceful Black Lives Matter protest? They were terrified that Merrick Road would be taken up by protesters and they wouldn't be able to go out and get a sandwich. Watch this. Watch this. Community members here in Merrick and surrounding towns adamantly opposed to Nassau police trying to figure out a way to allow protesters to walk up Merrick. They got kids. By the way, the Merrick people have got kids there. They're like, let's teach our kids how to be racist and apathetic to all of society's problems. Let's it's like a young kid there. There's a young kid there in fucking slides, like water sandals. Kids in water shoes. The kid's probably in the backyard in the fucking sprinkler, and the parents like, John, get in the car. There's blacks in our town. We're going to go get them. Get in the car. Mom, I want to play with my friends. Get in the car right now. People want to change things in this country, and we're going to stop them. We're going to stop them. They want to walk down the street with signs and exercise their First Amendment right, their right to speak freely, and their right to assemble and protest. And we got to show them that shit don't fly in Long Island. Mom, I just kind of want to hang out with Jack's coming over. No, we're going to the protest. Tell all your friends you're going to a race riot with your mother. We're going to a race riot with your mother now. You'll see your friends there. There's enough time in the day for friends. Today's race riot with Mom.
Go west!
Go west.
This isn't peaceful. This isn't peaceful. Dennis. We have a voice. This isn't peaceful. Hey, Dennis! Dennis, voice now!
No! Get them the hell out of here!
Get them the hell out of here! Get him the hell out of here! Yo, Giacomo, do something. Get him out of here! They're protesting police brutality. Get him out of here. I love that there are kids there. I mean, how sick are you? You bring the kid. You know, people, I guess, you know, people are just like, listen, this is a historic moment, son. By the way, everybody who's saying maybe they didn't have a babysitter, Long Island people leave their kids home for all kinds of reasons alone all the time. So let's cut it out. That kid was old enough to be left home alone for a little while. It wasn't like a young kid that you had to parent. It was like a kid who clearly could have stayed home, but the parents thought it was a good idea to just go, let's just bring you to race riot. Let's bring you to a peaceful protest that we're trying to turn into a race riot because we got 40 white people out there screaming at them with bandanas, by the way. Now everybody looks like a blood or a Crip. Like all these white people are wearing bandanas to protect from COVID. So they all have just red bandana. They look like, it's like the Hells Angels. Looks like a biker gang heading up the street. These masks are terrifying, folks. I hope they fucking work because they're terrifying as fuck. I just love that. Just a bunch of fat people standing outside of Merrick Deli being like, get out. Hey, you. Get out of here. Don't clog up the street. What are you doing? What's your problem? The cops are cops. Yeah, they beat on you with batons. What's the problem? If you don't want to get hit, don't go outside. Like, you got to hear, like, dude, people in Long Island that defend these police shootings, the logical jumps they have to go through are great. They're like, yeah, what are you outside in a park? You're going to get hit. This was like pre-pandemic, by the way. Yeah. They were just trying to justify anything. They're like, here's the deal. If a cop's beating you, you're in the wrong. That's it. If a cop has got his gun in your face, you've done something wrong. I know that because my brother Larry's a cop. And Larry tells me these people, they're up to no good. That's why we got to beat them with sticks in the street, even after they're handcuffed, even after they pose no threat to everybody. Larry was upset that, his wife made him redo the kitchen. They took out all kinds of money, all kinds of loans, kitchen's not being done. So, Larry goes out there with his baton and finds somebody to make pay for that, If you need, go get a potato and put a Marlboro Light in its mouth and watch that and then press play on your phone.